Good morning, girls. This is for the sake of those students who missed the classes this week. We're going to do calculations related to concentration of solutions. The first type that we are looking at is percentage by mass. The formula is mass of the solute divided by the mass of the solution. You need to understand what is meant by a solute, what is meant by a solvent, what is meant by a solution. So the solvent is the substance doing the dissolving, and it's always the largest part. And the solute is a substance in which the dissolving is taking place, and that is always the smallest, the solute is always the smallest unit. So in the calculation, it will be easy for you to distinguish which one is the solute and which one is the solution. This is the example we did in class. You'll also find this in your textbook, where an aquarium needs to maintain a certain amount of salt per 100 grams of water. I need to point out to you that as soon as you're working with 100 grams of water, they're actually telling you in words what the percentage of this water must be, because it's 3.6 grams of salt per 100 grams of water. That means actually 3.6%. So we can use this understanding to see if our answer is correct. The mass of the solute is 3.6 grams. The mass of the solvent is 100 grams. Can you see? The larger number of the two is the solvent, and the smaller number of the two is the solute. To do this calculation, we are going to substitute it into this formula that we have to learn off by heart. Percentage by mass is mass of the solute over the mass of the solution times by 100. Remember, we can use the formula to also describe it, which is the other learning outcome. Percentage by mass is the ratio of the mass of the solute as to the mass of the solution expressed as a percentage. So if we substitute the mass of the solute and the mass of the solution in there, and please note, we added the mass of the solute and the mass of the solution with the solvent together to get the mass of the solution. So be careful that you don't forget to do that one. So if we substitute it in there, we get an answer of 3.5%. Can you see? This answer is close to the 3.6, the concept that it is a solution of 3.6%. But this is only applicable if you are using 100 milliliters of water. So be very careful for that one. The class example that we did was you had to determine the percentage of sodium hypochlorite in a solution. So you had 20 grams of solute. The 600 grams of water, we got it from the 600 milliliters of water. Remember that 1 milliliter of water is equal to 1 gram, so 600 milliliters of water will be equal to 600 grams. To get the mass of my solution, I have to add those two together. If I substitute it into my formula, I get an answer of 3.23%. Then, number 10 was slightly different. In number 10, they give you the percentage of the concentration. They give you the percentage by mass of sodium hypochlorite. They tell you it's 3.62%. So if we write that as a percentage, it will be written as 3.62 over 100. Now there's two ways I can do this calculation. The one way is using the formula. You use the formula. So percentage by mass is 3.62 over 100. The mass of the solute is X, because I don't know what it is. That's what I have to calculate. They want to know how much sodium hypochlorite is there in the solution of bleach. And the mass of the solution, they tell you the bleach solution is 1,500 grams. Now, very important, you need to remember this. If you are given the percentage by mass and you are writing it as 3.62 over 100, it means that this 100 that you have here on the formula is moved to the percentage. You are already expressed as a percentage. You do not need this component anymore because you are already using the expression as a percentage. Therefore, there is no times 100 here on the side for those of you who are confused and who can't remember it. This is your basic mathematics that you should already know. If I substitute everything into the solution, I can cross multiply. 100 times x is 100x, which is equal to 3.62 times 1,500. I want to get rid of the 100 so I can get x on its own, so I will divide by 100 on this side. Then I must also do it on that side, so that gives me the mass of x, which is 54.3. The second option is to do that simply using your math skills. So you want to know what is 3.62% of a solution of 1,500 grams of bleach, because 3.62% is the percentage of sodium hypochlorite that's in that solution. So it's simple, straightforward maths where you determine what is 3.62%, that's over 100 of 1,500, and you will get the same answer.